Are you kidding me right now? You're disgusting. Sorry, but you just are. What is up with these significant other? Like, they're bold. This is a bold thing to do. I told him dinner was ready and he goes, "What's for dinner?" With a lot of emphasis on the last word. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I don't know how to start these sit down videos. I've been doing too many vlogs. Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be doing another Am I the A-hole? I love this series. I've been spending lots of time on Reddit, so I've been dying to come back to this one. So here we are. We're gonna be doing another one, which I'm excited for. I believe this is part 3, which is fun. So you guys know how I usually do it on this channel. I usually will read the title, give my verdict, completely unbiased, completely uninfluenced because I know nothing of the story. And then after I read it, we see if things have changed or if they've stayed the same. You'd be surprised. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get into it. I don't want to wait any longer. Okay, you guys, so the first one says, am I the a-hole for not inviting my friend who showed me around LA to a mansion party I got invited to because I didn't think she would fit the look? Honestly, again, this is completely unbiased. We know nothing of the story, but to be honest, I really don't think it's gonna change after you are the a-hole. Let's read it though. So it starts off by saying, bit of context here. My older sister is best friends with this girl. We'll call her Katie. Katie lives in LA. Before this trip, I never hung out with her before one-on-one. Okay, so you guys are not really friends. You're like more acquaintances. Okay. Still kind of shady thing to do, but let's keep reading. It was my first time going to LA without my family. I had a work trip there, but I extended it so I could spend time like having fun during the weekend. I asked Katie for recommendations and she is like, oh, let me show you around. So the first couple of days, me and Katie have a great time. We do a lot of sightseeing and take fun pictures. On IG, I got a message by a friend and he tells me that if I'm in LA, I should go to his guy's party. I don't know this guy, but it's a party mansion and to dress nice and invite my hot friends. Okay. I want to invite Katie, but I don't think she would fit the bill. She is 29 and she is not in the best shape. Are you kidding me right now? You're disgusting. Sorry, but you just are. Like, she is not fat, and honestly, it's just that she dresses up too much like a millennial. All the millennials are shaking right now. I ended up inviting a girl that I am not so good friends with, and she picks me up from my hotel and we go together. The party was really cool. The place was huge. I didn't post anything but a selfie with some of the people I met there because I didn't want to look like I was out of place, and I never do stuff like that. What ends up happening is that my sister calls and I tell her about the party. I completely forgot that she might end up telling Katie. Then the next day I end up getting called by Katie and she is livid. She accuses me of using her to see LA. She then says that she has lived here for 6 years and has never been to a mansion party and she would have loved to have gone. That I'm gatekeeping this stuff, that she showed me everything, and that I took a random girl there instead of her. I tell her I don't think she would have been able to get in. Oh, you're just making it worse. Like, just apologize and move on with it. Why are you saying all this stuff? That the guys that run the party are particular. She then accuses me of saying she is ugly. And I am like, it's not that. I would have brought you in, but it's not my event. She doesn't care about it at all and ends up unfollowing me on IG. Am I the a-hole? Honestly, yeah, you are. A little bit. You know what? It's a sticky one because I do get that you guys are not the greatest of friends, even though you probably have known this girl for a very long time. It seems like you've known her for a very long time. I'm not saying that you should have gone to the party, but maybe you should have been better about it, you know? And then you shouldn't have said like, oh, like, I don't think you could have got in, like all of that stuff, you know? I feel like you're being very judgmental of this Katie girl. I don't know. I mean, I feel like she took the time to show you around LA and like give you all of this fun experiences, and like you can't even like return the energy, you know? It is a little bit gatekeepery, even though I get it, you know, you were maybe trying to spare her feelings or whatever the case may be, but like for you to go as far as to say like, I don't think she could get in, like I just don't. I'm gonna say you are the a-hole though, sorry. So someone said you are the a-hole. She's good enough to show you around, but not good enough to go to a mansion party with you. This post says a lot of things about you and they're not great. Someone else said, why do I get the feeling her friend's more attractive than she's letting on and it's a jealousy thing? You're the a-hole. Someone else said, and if the problem is about specific dress code, the person writing the story should have just said, hey Katie, for this party we should be dressed this way, instead of just assuming things based on how she was dressing for casual daily things. Very true, very true. I think you should have put Katie on beat And Katie could have came accordingly, you know, like, I don't know. I don't like the vibes. You are the a-hole. Let's move on. Okay, the next one says, am I the a-hole for wanting my roommate's boyfriend to pay rent? I'm gonna say not the a-hole because it seems like if you're saying this, maybe they spend a lot of time there. If they definitely spend a lot of time there, it definitely adds up. It's more like water being used and electricity being used and food being eaten. And it's a lot more when you add another person into the equation. I'm gonna say not the a-hole. Let's just read it. So it says, this past summer, I, 21-year-old female, got an apartment with my friend Sharon, 23-year-old female. Before we moved in, Sharon asked if her boyfriend Oscar, 24-year-old male, can stay with us for a couple of months. I thought he was just there occasionally spending the night. Man's basically lives there and he's not paying any bills? I don't know. He's gotta go or cough up a check. Oscar lives in another country and wanted to come to our country to spend time with Sharon and figure out their relationship. He was supposed to look for a job and get an apartment during those couple of months. If he couldn't swing that, then he would go back home. Initially, I was hesitant, but I ultimately decided that I would be flexible and give them this opportunity. The deal was that he would pay me and our other roommate, 15-year-old Daphne, rent for the time he is staying with us. We charged him at the end of the month, so he was only paying us for time he actually spent living in our apartment. Oscar found a job and we thought he would move out on time. But eventually, Oscar told me and Daphne that he hates his job and will be quitting. He asked if he could stay with us for an indefinite amount of time while he looks for a new one. What if this is not a hotel? Again, I was hesitant, but agreed to give him the second chance since he would continue to pay rent, I guess. Oscar got another job, and after a while, beginning of January, Daphne and I asked him to move out. He agreed and moved out at the end of the month. On the day Oscar moved out, he told us that he won't be paying us rent for January, claiming he can't afford it with the new apartment's rent. He said that he was only in the apartment for 3 weeks anyway because he took a week-long vacation with Sharon and that this month he would be treated as a guest and not a tenant. The nerve of this. What country is he from? I need to know because this guy has got balls. This didn't sit well with me. I budgeted to have his rent money and being told last minute that I wouldn't be receiving it set me back on paying off a purchase that I planned to use the money for. But to avoid bad blood, I let it slide. Babe, you're a little bit too nice, okay? Now Oscar's new apartment was only for a month and the lease is up. He wants to stay with us again for a few days while he looks at new ones. I think if he wants to stay here, he needs to pay rent again and pay us for January, even if a reduced amount, but at least something. Oscar claims that the moment we asked him to move out, our deal was up. Since he was only paying us rent as an incentive to let him stay here, once we asked him to move, he didn't feel he needed to pay us anymore. If that was the case, then he should have moved out the day we asked him to. Exactly. Instead, he stayed the whole month while he was finding another apartment. I think I upheld my end of the deal by not kicking him out the day we asked him to move and expect him to uphold his part of the deal and pay us rent. I feel very taken advantage of and want to put my foot down. Oscar says he's feeling wronged since he offered to pay us a lot in rent. So he was doing us a favor by paying us and thinks I'm an a-hole for asking for more on top of what he's already paid. My boyfriend says to drop it for peace, but I want to stick with this. I could use some outside perspective. Am I the a-hole? Girl, no. And first of all, what is Shannon doing? This is Shannon's boyfriend, right? Or Sharon, whatever her name is. This is her boyfriend, right? What is she doing? Like, is she just allowing him to go, do all of this, like shady stuff to her friends? Like, to be honest, he needs to go and Shannon needs to go. You are not the a-hole. This guy is the a-hole. And honestly, Shannon's a little bit of an a-hole too for not stepping in and mediating the situation. So someone in the comments said, not the a-hole. I LOL'd at, he's only paying rent as an incentive to let me stay here. That's what rent is. I didn't even think about that. He's been taking advantage of you this whole time and he wants to get as much out of you as he possibly can. Let's move on. This guy is too much. Moving on. The next one says, am I the a-hole for suing my girlfriend after she had my 1967 Impala project taken to the scrapyard? When I hear 1967 Impala, it immediately reminds me of Supernatural because isn't that the year and this car that Dean was obsessed with? I'm gonna say not the a-hole, this is no context, but I'm assuming that you're suing her. If you're suing her, it must be more to the story, right? I'm gonna say not the a-hole, but let's read it. So it says, I'll try to keep this short. This thing is literally the longest one that I've read thus far, but I digress. I had a 1967 Impala 4-door that I bought in February of 2019. A couple months ago, I bought my first house that had a 2.5 car garage. I moved the car in and started tearing it down for a complete restoration. I had the body in one bay and the chassis, I don't know anything about cars, plus the whole garage filled with parts. About 2 months ago, my girlfriend came to live with me during this whole crisis and the whole time has hated that car. She wants to park in the garage, but I have 2 acres of land with a lot of nice places to park under shady trees, or hell, even in the barn if it has to be inside. I tell her tough luck, it's my house, and it's not like I can just throw it back together real quick. Anyways, I was out of town for a couple of days on a business trip for the small local company I work for. When I got back, my girlfriend was all smiles. Honestly, she needs to be dumped because this is messed up. Making me food all the time, doing all the chores, all that. I thought maybe she just was happy to have me home, but then I realized that I didn't see my car in its usual spot. I asked her where she parked so I can make sure I mow the area and keep it clean, and she said not to worry because she parked in the garage. I asked how, and she told me to go check it out. Turns out that while I was gone, she hired some people to come over and move everything related to that car, including the drivetrain, don't know what that is, body, barely know what that is, and the chases and all the parts, and take it to the local dump/scrap yard. What is up with these significant other, like, they are bold. This is a bold thing to do. Did she think that this was gonna go well? I was absolutely dumbfounded. I had spent over $11,000 on that car, including new parts, services, and the car itself. I told her that I was going to be taking her to court. For that, and she brushed me off like I was being dramatic. I told her that it's done between us and to pack her things and leave. I admit I was really angry, but I did end up getting a lawyer, and as I have all the receipts for all the money spent, and I have her on my house's security cam footage, letting the guy in. You can't even lie, Sally. The camera caught it. Letting the guys in and watching them take it all, I think I can win. Her family and friends are absolutely blowing me up, saying it's just a stupid old piece of junk and that she cannot pay back all that money I spent and that I should just let it go. But I have been putting all my money, effort, and time into that car for a year and a half now, and god damn it, I am going to get justice for what she did. Am I the a-hole? Honestly, no. No, it's so much more than just about the car. $11,000, you guys, is a lot of money. And he sounds like someone that has worked for it. I don't even know this person, don't even know anything about them, but I feel like he just worked for it, okay? He worked for that car, he worked for that $11,000. And for her to just like the nerve. I'm suing too. If I was him, I would sue too. So there is an update, and he says, went to the police station last night, was told to come back in the morning, just got back and filed an official report against her for grand larceny and grand theft auto. I showed them all the receipts I had for the car and the footage of her letting the guys come and take it, as well as a title for the vehicle in my name. They said they will be in contact with all 3 parties, me, ex-girlfriend, and junkyard guys soon, and they will hopefully be able to recover some or all of the car. Just have to wait now. And then another update, you guys. They found my goddamn car! I'm invested. Sorry. The junkyard guys immediately were in the middle of hiding it when the police came to ask some questions. It was on a forklift, and they were gonna put it on top of a pile of cars that was hidden behind more piles of cars. They said it was theirs and they had the title, but obviously didn't have the title for it, and since they matched the VIN on the chassis and body to the VIN on my title, it was obviously mine. I know at least one person there has been arrested. I think he was in the camera footage I talked about earlier, but I don't know if the boss or whomever or even his specific charge. They also told me that they would be looking into the specific junkyard for any other vehicles reported stolen. They said they haven't been able to get in contact with my ex just yet, but their work, she done fled. My girl done fled the country. I'm just so glad they found my car. You guys, this is so crazy. This guy got his car back, probably is gonna get money back for all of this, and then uncovered a whole car trafficking ring. I need to do more in my life, honestly. I'm very unproductive. Let's move on. Okay, the next one says, am I the a-hole for dropping our dinner on the ground and walking out when my boyfriend asks me, what's for dinner? Bitch. No, not the a-hole, because who are you talking to? Let's read it, but I'm sure that it's not gonna change. I was over at my boyfriend's apartment this weekend and I was cooking dinner because he was studying for exams. I made pasta and a chunky sauce with meatballs and veggies. It's giving wife. I told him dinner was ready and he goes, "What's for dinner?" With a lot of emphasis on the last word. Oh, he said it strong. I was fed up. I had had a pretty rough day with work and I have some awfully bad associations with that word being used by other people in my life who were pretty abusive. So I was so irritated that I dropped a pot of pasta sauce I had been carrying right on the ground and was like, "Well, nothing's for dinner tonight now," as you should. And I better not hear you using that word again. It's for the girls. And is. He was freaking out about how sauce had landed on his rug and he even said, "You're seriously acting like a bitch right now. I don't know what else to call it." Are you kidding me? I just walked out and got takeout for myself and went to my friend's house. She thought it was funny, but my boyfriend was furious. He kept texting and calling and sending me voice memos trying to explain that saying "what's for dinner tonight, bitch" was a TikTok trend and that he was just quoting something as a joke to put on TikTok. I thought that was the shittiest excuse ever. It doesn't matter if he saw it as a joke or stole the joke, it was still disrespectful. First of all, I'm sure that he knows this past that you have with this word. Like, why would he even think that that's like funny to say? But it didn't change the fact that he thought the shit was funny to demean me when I was trying to do him a favor. Like hell, I came over when he was studying to make him a home cooked meal and he decides it's time for jokes. So I put my phone on Do Not Disturb for the night and split a bottle of wine with my friend and her roommate. The next morning, he was sending me angry texts demanding I clean his rug because he was too busy with exams to do it. You left that sauce on your rug all night? I was shocked he left it overnight. That's disgusting. I text him back saying, "Yeah, so that's the bitch tax. Leave me alone till you're ready to handle your own cooking and cleaning because this bitch doesn't anymore. Also, it's vile you left that soaking in all night." He called me and told me that he is okay with doing his own household work, but I did throw a full pot of sauce on the ground, so that's on me to clean it up. Who is this guy? I need to meet him because honestly, he needs a slap. I told him, "Yeah, no, I'm not comfortable doing chores for you if you see me like your bitch." He told me he did it and it was just a trend. And I got pissed off because he was playing that TikTok trend BS excuse again. And I told him, "Well, I'm starting a trend called saucing, where as a little joke, people throw pasta sauce around. You can't be mad because it's just a little trend, a little jokey joke, just a little prank, bro. Can we be friends? I don't have any and I love you." He got really pissed off and hung up on me, and now I'm seriously wondering if this dumb effing TikTok trend is gonna be the end of things between us. It's not the trend, it's just him. End it, because Queen, he's kind of disgusting. Am I the a-hole for how I reacted when my boyfriend asked me, "What's for dinner tonight?" No, you're not. Because even if it is a trend, he could clearly see that it was something that bothered you. And he just got so like, the way he handled the situation was just ill. Like it was just ill vibes. Like telling you, he left the sauce there all night to tell you to come and pick it up. Like that is honestly like petty, childish behavior. Like that's disgusting. So let's look through some comments. Okay, so one of the comments says, "Not the a-hole. I googled the trend and it is all about seeing how women react to a knowingly offensive comment. And usually they are offended. These jokes aren't funny. Well, you reacted. He got his wish. He needs to grow up." I think I have honestly seen this trend on TikTok. And what usually happens in these videos is the wife gets mad. She gets mad or she turns around and she gives the husband a look like, "Who are you talking to?" Or she like throws something at them. Like it's not a trend where the wife is just like, "What's for dinner tonight, bitch? Oh, I should have thought of that." It's not that kind of trend. Like people get mad. So I don't know why he thought that that was funny to say. I don't know why he thought that that was a good idea, but honestly, he's probably not all there, so it makes sense. He's almost using like the TikTok trend, the joke, as an excuse to just say the word. Like I feel like he just wants to say the word. What's funny about that? Where's the joke? Like isn't the joke supposed to have like a punchline and it's supposed to be like a full circle moment, you know? But you're just saying, like you're just calling me a bitch. Like where's the joke? Where's the joke? Let's move on. Okay, so the next one says, "Am I the a-hole for giving my ex-wife a large amount of money I won despite the anger of my current girlfriend?" I'm gonna say not the a-hole. I feel like I'm supposed to be doing this unbiased, just completely based off of the title. But I feel like for some reason you have to be thinking, there has to be a reason why you feel the need to give some to your ex-wife. Like either you guys have kids together, or she held you down during the marriage. In that case, I truly feel that wives are entitled to something, especially if they help their husbands get to a certain point in life. I'm gonna say not the a-hole. But let's read it though. That might change. So it says, I recently won a ridiculous amount of money. I won't say exactly how much, but it's in the millions. Doing what? Can you tell me how you did it? Because I'm trying to get like you. It makes me feel uneasy even typing it's enough to change the life of myself and my family. My wife is the mother of my 2 kids. See, that makes sense. That makes sense. She's an amazing woman and good to the bone. We divorced 6 years ago because I had an affair with my current partner. You owe that woman every cent. And this girlfriend really has no room to say anything. Like, you stole someone's husband. I was in a low place in my life and I effed up. She was an incredible pain, but like an effing saint, she allowed me to still see our kids, who mean the world to me, allowed our divorce to be as pain-free as possible despite the fact that I know she was hurting. She still is close with my parents. She is respectful to me, although she refuses to talk to my girlfriend. She was actually the first person I phoned after my mom and pops after I found out I won the lottery. Okay, so we did this through the lottery. I'm going to buy tickets after I finish. She was pleased for me. Joked that I could take the kids on a world-round trip, and that was that. Nothing else. As soon as I won, I knew I wanted to give her a significant amount. I still love her. She's the mother of my babies, and I feel like this is some small, tiny way I can show her that I am not a complete F-up. She deserves to know that I care despite my mistakes. She also works a terrible job in the public library, which pays her peanuts. Okay. She would actually be able to pursue her hobbies this way. Give our kids a better life between us. I haven't discussed this with my ex yet, but I have with my parents, who strongly agree, and my lawyer, who was very surprised but was on board. Long story short, when I told my girlfriend, she was livid, screaming that I'm disrespecting her, accusing me of still being in love with my ex-wife. I'm not in love with her. We both grown apart, but of course I still love her for being an excellent co-parent and mother to my kids. My girlfriend is threatening to break up with me, and to be honest, I'm feeling incredibly relieved over the threats. I don't plan on changing my plan, but am I the a-hole? No, you're not. That's a really good move. You know what? I truly do think that you might still be a little bit in love with your ex-wife. I truly do. The way you talked about her, you might not realize it, babe, but you definitely are a little bit still in love with her. For sure. This girlfriend, by the way, sounds like a complete piece of work. Honestly, like I said, no room to talk. You stole someone's husband. Like, you can't say anything about anything. You disrespected that woman when you slept with her husband. So maybe keep your opinions to yourself. Not the a-hole. Very nice thing to do. But let's see what other people think. Someone said, not the a-hole. And for what it's worth, there are actually women out there who would see the value in a man that is respectful of the mother of his children. Your children will benefit from this in ways that have nothing to do with the money. And I am no psychologist, but it sounds like you still have a lot of love and respect for your ex. Make sure you aren't staying with your girlfriend out of guilt for the role she played in the breakdown of your marriage. Wow. As in, if I gave up my wife for her, I have to make it work. At least in this case, your girlfriend's the a-hole. Your girlfriend very much is the a-hole. And yeah, you might be staying with her just because one of those situations that's like, I gave up my marriage for this. Like, I lost my wife. I lost the mother of my children for this. I can't just break up with her. Like, I have to at least try. You know, it can't all be for nothing. I think that might be the vibe, and that's why he hasn't left her, because he said he's relieved at the thought of her leaving him. So, like, you kind of don't want to be with her already. Like, just end it. Just end it and give your wife some money and y'all live y'all best lives, okay? Alrighty, you guys, but I think that's gonna be it for this video, this segment of Am I the A-hole? These were honestly really fun. I like these ones that I did today. Yeah, let me know if you guys want me to continue the series or if there's any other Reddit threads that you would want me to jump into. I spend lots of time on there, so I would most likely be able to check it out. I hope you guys have an amazing day or night or whatever your situation is, and I will see all of you in my next one, whatever that may be. Love you, bye.